Hey everyone, and welcome to our live Q&A call all about our 30-day challenge starting on Monday. So we're just going to get started in a few minutes here. I'm going to put us live on Facebook, and then we'll get going. Hello, hello. Give me a couple of minutes and then we'll dive in. As I'm setting up here, if you do have any questions, start putting them in the chat. You can start right away adding in your questions because this is time to get those answered. So, yeah. Hello, Dr. Bart.
Hello there, Miss Karen. Good morning to you, afternoon to us.
It is good morning for me. I am just getting us live on Facebook here.
And of course, I got Georgie with me tonight, who's going to hang out.
Hey, George.
He's really focused on what I have in my hand right here, which is a dog treat. So that's how I keep his great attention. I'm good to go.
Yeah, we'll perform for food.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I'm excited about tonight. I've had so many questions, just random questions all the time. So hopefully everyone is ready to ask. If you're, if you guys are on here, you're participating tonight in the chat. Go ahead and stick your hand up, say hi, and then if you want, you can start throwing questions there. And then, of course, usually when the questions start happening, it usually provokes more questions. So this is wide open. Of course, Karen, I think we want to talk about the 30-day challenge a fair amount as well tonight.
Yeah, we do. So we are live on Facebook now, and as we've said, guys, start putting in your questions. You can put them in the chat. You can put them in the chat on Facebook. We're able to grab those ones. So wherever you're watching, start putting in your questions. And then let's kick off by just recapping, like, what is this 30-day challenge that we are starting on Monday? Guys, registration is closing really soon. So yeah, what is the 30-day challenge? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, so I think if we only answered that tonight, that would be probably just an important thing. So the 30-day challenge really is, it's a challenge for us to take 30 days to literally level ourselves back up. And there's a part of me that wants to say that to really get our lives back after, what are we, 6 months into this kind of weirdness? Let me do that. You guys probably hear me a little better. 6 months into this kind of bizarre time that none of us as adults, have ever experienced. So this 30-day challenge is very specifically a challenge that's going to involve movement, eating, and also thinking. And this is where we're really going to step outside of the box, where if you've been in my tribe before and you've done work with me before, I'm always involved in nutrition. And this is going to be no different. We're going to involve whole food eating. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. And this time a little bit different. It's not necessarily what I would call a cleanse, even though we're going to clean the body out. I'm going to put some different guidelines. Some things, Karen, I'm going to hold back a little bit. I'm going to be a little secretive about.
Okay.
Yeah, so only because I want people not to judge it, just know this. It's a 30-day challenge for every one of us, including myself. I'm going to be going through this process with you of literally leveling ourselves up and how you move, eat, and think. And one of the things when I think about, when people ask me, what about the movement itself? I'll tell you one of them, but there's one that I have kind of a secret. And this isn't necessarily exercise that I'm talking about. I'm talking about having very specific strategies every day and very specific rituals that literally help your body function better. So you and I, we're always talking about the path of, to being superhuman. One of the paths is waking up our brain. So there's movements that, are going to be in the 30-day challenge that are designed to do every single day. No excuses, no reason that you can't do them, none whatsoever. Not too old, too young, too big, too small, too far away, none of those things. So the way I'm breaking it down is that there's going to be 2 things every day for all our participants to be doing when it comes to movements. They're going to be how are they going to be easy? Yeah, they're kind of easy. They're doable. The challenge is the discipline and the mindset that it's going to take to do those. And same thing with the eating. I've got some really cool things we're going to do. Of course, it's going to be a whole food diet for 30 days, no doubt. That by itself, Karen, is a massive challenge.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And I think, and I think our listeners have heard me say this before, that you can't get well if you do not clean the cell. So it's
I like that one.
Yeah, it just at some point we have to draw the line in the sand. And I think that's what this is really about, this 30-day challenge, that this is all of us just saying, all right, I get it. I'm a little bit off, when it comes to my eating, my nutrition, and maybe way off when it comes to thinking. So we'll draw the line in the sand, 30 days of eating real whole foods. So when someone, there's going to be the questions that I always get about that, I'll get personal text and be like, well, I was having these, box of whatevers, box of things, and they taste like apple. Is that real food? No, it's not. We're going right back to God's garden. And if you missed that episode, you can look back at that, at the episode we did on God's garden. So, whole foods, we're going to eat through it. And then one of the challenges, I guess I'll let a little bit out of the bag here. I'm going to reduce the amount of carbohydrates we're consuming. And some people might say, well, why low carb? At the end of the day, Karen, it's about inflammation. If for 30 days we can reduce inflammation, I know 100% after 30 days, we will level ourselves up. And that is the goal here. We have so much built up inflammation. We're not doing the things we used to do. We're not eating as good. We're not moving as good. We're not thinking as good. And when that inflammation starts to build up, that's when trouble really kind of starts to ensue. And how do we know? The best way you know? You don't put it in your body for 30 days. You clean the cell for 30 days. And then then we get to experiment. And then we get to, then have an experience really of what happens when I give my body that chance. And really for everyone listening, and those of you that have already signed up, hats off to you, congratulations. And really this is about permission that you are giving yourself to get closer to being the best version of yourself. And listen, I've been doing this a long time, and I always know there's another level for me. And Karen, you can probably agree that there's always, a little tweak here and a little tweak there. My favorite thing about this, so listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, these last 6 months, I've slid. Like I just got off my game. I just haven't been doing as good in so many things. So I'm actually looking forward to, essentially leading the way, but also being part of the way. So we're going to do movements, we're going to do eating, and then we're also going to tap into this guy up here, thinking. So now I'll tell you a little about this, because this is the part, and I don't want this to scare anyone away, because it won't scare anyone away, but I want you to be open to the fact that if we don't get this right, your nutrition won't be right and your exercise won't be right either. It's not sustainable. Yeah, if we get this guy right, it'll override all those other things. So we're going to become good at meditation. Yeah. And don't let that concern. If you've never meditated, or you're one that sits down and says, oh my God, I can't meditate. I've got a way. I've got a practice for you. And then I'm holding one back. I'm going to hold back a little secret part that is going to be part of the 30-day challenge. And what does it mean? For 30 days straight, you're going to be responsible for at least 2 things when it comes to movements, and 2 things when it comes to nutrition, and 2 things when it comes to thinking. Now, the cool thing is I actually created a system where you can give yourself points. So the accountability is 100% on everyone else. It's not on me. This isn't about me doing it for anybody. This is really about, say, listen, can I hold myself accountable? And I'll always go back to this, Karen. If you can do something steady, Freddy, for 30 days, you can really start to set a routine and a ritual that'll change your life.
Yeah. And I love that. I'm excited to get started on Monday myself, because I feel like I've been a little bit the same. I'm kind of ready for a reset. And sometimes you need that group accountability and just that support, or just that time. Hey, this is the day I'm gonna start. You know, it doesn't, you know, what we've done in the past doesn't matter. We, as you say, drawing a line in the sand, that's how we're gonna go forward. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We've had a bunch of people sign up, so there's a really good group in there. All getting ready, doing their shopping, getting ready to really hit the ground running on Monday.
You know, that's another great point they just made there. One of the great things about doing a challenge like this is that you're not in it alone. If you left me by myself in charge of me all the time, I'd be in trouble. You know, and I don't say that jokingly. And the people that know me and love me in my life, they know that, like, I feed off of, you know, having the tribe. I feed off proximity. I feed off of the people around me. And I think that we're all like that. And well, I tell you this, I know we're all like that. And I think that in the event that someone's like, well, I don't need accountability, you know, check it out if you had it. That's what I would say. Imagine if you did have some accountability, and it comes from love and it comes from the same goals in mind. What if you had a tribe that was talking about the things, the challenges that they were going through every day? So listen, this is going to be very difficult for some people that haven't been eating that good, or haven't been moving their body at all, or they're stuck in a pattern emotionally. And people are going to, the beauty of the group is that whatever you're dealing with, someone else is dealing with it. And that participation, that I'm going to really be encouraging everyone to, you know, to kind of really engage in that participation. One of the things I've discovered over the years of doing anything like this, these group events, is that always, Karen, here's the wildest thing: whoever participates the most gets the best benefits. Always.
Always, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. This 30-day challenge, another program, 100%. For sure. Okay, well, we've got lots of questions about the challenge and what we've got going on. Should we start diving into them?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay. So we've actually got a first one here on Zoom. Is there a Facebook group for the challenge? Oh, you just muted. I'm not sure why. No, can you?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Back.
All right, sweet. I'm pushing two buttons here. So yeah, there's a Facebook group. So there's gonna be a private Facebook group that the moment you register, you probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're gonna get an email inviting you to get yourself registered. The beauty of that Facebook is that on that Facebook page, there's also gonna be a bunch of resources. We're gonna have a fair amount of recipes for everyone, so we don't have to become master chefs or anything like that. We're gonna have all the instructions, and really what I did. So, our show is Health Made Simple with Dr. Bart. So I like things simple. So I put a slew of different videos in there, very short videos, 1 to 3 minute, 1 to 4 minute type videos that basically explain everything along the way. So that's what kind of works for my brain. So there's nothing that's going to take tremendous amount of time that sometimes people are concerned about. Well, I don't have time to sit down and watch, 40-minute instructional videos. There's no video like that. That's not how I work, and I don't expect anyone else to kind of participate that way. So there's a Facebook group, and that is going to be the money, folks. That page right there, that's where you're going to get me. I don't know if I'll be there live every day, but it's going to be darn close to it. But all the participants will be there live posting. So there are also some things that I'm going to request of everyone. Every day when you achieve your different things with your movement and your eating and your thinking, that you post. And I'm going to teach people how they can post and just letting us know. So it's almost like you're getting credit for your achievements. So you don't get nixed for not doing it, but you get credit for doing it, because it's one of the challenges we have right now, Karen, just, culturally, is that we don't give ourselves credit for anything.
Yeah.
We don't allow ourselves to celebrate. We don't allow ourselves to say, hey, good job today. And every day that's going to have an opportunity. If you get all your movement done, you get all your eating done and all your thinking done, you're going to get to post on that Facebook page, hey, I got my stuff done, and it's Pat. All right, good day. And now let's see if we can put these days together. So that Facebook page is going to be a huge tool for literally the combined effort, the group effort of just kind of helping everyone else level up.
Yeah, and I think as you said, you're going to be live in that group. And we're going to have live calls with you as well. So people, as they're going through the challenge, they're going to be able to get their questions answered. They're going to be able to get actual Dr. Bart support.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So listen, I'm in, and we're in it to win it. That's the name of the game right now. So there's two parts to that, Karen. So when the questions are asked, I'm answering them. So for those 30 days, I'm all in, and I did have someone say, how can you do this? You already got a busy schedule and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know if I'll do this again. I just think right now the times kind of call for something like this. I've been very blessed and have a huge, patient database. And right now it is clear to me that what people want the most is some guidance, a little bit of leadership, and then a strategy that they can use to move forward and really kind of elevate up. So that's going to be my commitment to everyone, that for 30 days, you ask the questions, I'm going to answer it. But not only that, Karen, every Monday night, starting with this Monday, we're going to go live with a call just like this. And no doubt I'll be teaching some stuff, and a lot of it will be real life stuff and some of the experiences that I'll be going through and everything. And then I'm going to bring people on live. So the people that want to share their experience of what the struggles or the achievements that they're having and how they're having breakthroughs. So listen, this isn't let's kill this for 1 week. This is 30 days. And we're going to see what happens with momentum, because it's not uncommon that a lot of us, we can start strong, but we're talking about finishing strong here as well. So every Monday night, we're going to go live. It'll probably be anywhere from a half hour to an hour. Live Q&A. No doubt I'll be doing some teaching, especially in week 1. I'll talk kind of the whole walkthrough. But I'll be bringing people on. So we're going to set up this Zoom. So folks that are on tonight, we're going to set up Zoom, and I hope you're on there, because I can literally just click onto your name and make you go live. So don't be hiding on me when this time comes.
Totally. We want to see you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Okay. So we got some other questions here. Let's go through a couple of them. What about if you are vegan, vegetarian? Can you still do the challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. So ultimately the diet plan is going to be God's garden, whole foods. So, and really what that means. So if you have a preference to vegan or vegetarian, then you're probably very familiar with it. Yet we're going to make sure it's 100% whole foods from God's garden. So pizzas do not live in God's garden. Follow me? And crackers don't live in God's garden, and pasta doesn't live in God's garden. So as a vegetarian, you're going to be pushed a little bit, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the challenge. So absolutely, vegans and vegetarians can do it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So in the challenge is going to be some elements of fasting. Is there anybody that shouldn't fast? Is there anybody who can't do the challenge from that perspective?
So the fasting is going to be optional. I'm really going to encourage people, especially if they've never done it before, to just follow my lead. Okay. It's going to be fun. It's going to be easy. It's not mandatory. The carb counting will be, okay, but the fasting will not be. So do not let that scare you or make you not jump in, because it'll be easy enough. I've done this long enough, and I've done enough keto programs that there's a very simple way to introduce fasting to the body. And that's what we're going to do during this challenge.
Okay. Awesome. What about difference between men and women? Is this for men and women? Are there going to be any different things that people have to do?
No, unless we just want to make it competitive.
Women, let's go.
No, it's really, it's built for both, it's really built for both. There's really no separating. I think that when I think about it, I think there'll be different areas of struggle. For different things, but I think it's both men and women. In fact, I've got a lot of couples that are doing it together, which is like the perfect scenario. And again, it's not too late. We do have a couple days left of registration. Is that right?
Yeah, we do.
So in the event that maybe you have, registered and you still want your spouse or something to do it, 30-day challenge, help them, encourage them, force them, whatever it takes. If you can take the ride together, it always works out better. But listen, at the same time, if you're going to do your thing. I love it.
Totally. But I think that's a good point. I mean, I love always doing, if you do have a group of friends or some co-workers or something, to get a group to do it all together. I mean, it does just, as we're talking about tribe, and I mean, we've got a group here, we've got you. But if you've got some people that still want to register, we still have 2 days of registration left open. So drbartchallenge.com is the link. Make sure you go there to register. Okay, next question. Will I lose weight with this challenge?
Lose weight? Yes. That, you know, and I rarely go into something like this saying that I can almost promise you, but I can promise you. And the reason being is that even when we have good diets, we're all eating too many carbohydrates. So
yeah,
I'm gonna guide it. So listen, no starvation diet, absolutely no calorie counting. You eat as much as you want, but we're gonna restrict the carbohydrate amount in a very specific schedule. And as a result of that, you're gonna be blown away. People, I promise you, you're gonna be blown away when you just restrict the foods that turn into sugar, that turn into inflammation. When you get those out of your diet, it becomes one of the simplest game changers there is out there. So yeah, especially if you have weight to lose, not all, you know, not everyone needs to lose weight or wants to lose weight. And in the event that you're saying, well, I'm already too thin, then listen, if you lose weight because you restrict carbohydrates, that was a good thing. That means you reduced inflammation and you got back down to your normal weight. So whatever happens, happens.
okay, awesome. Can I do this if I'm traveling? So within the 30-day period, I've got some travel. Lucky you, I don't have any. No, maybe not lucky you, but I don't have any travel at the moment. But yeah, if you're traveling, can you still do the challenge?
100%. So when I thought about this 30-day challenge, I also thought about every excuse that might show up.
Yeah, okay.
And things like travel. And I get it, because sometimes when we travel, you know, we don't have a gym to go to or something like that. Not, you know, we need a gym, but this is designed for anyone, anytime, anywhere. And that's what I want people to feel really, really comfortable with. So listen, I can tell you right now, I know I got some 21-year-olds doing this, and I know I got some 81-year-olds doing this. And both of them are going to get results. It's a 30-day challenge to level up our lives. And you know, physically with the things that we're going to do with our movement, how we eat, and also how we think. So if you travel, perfect. Because these are the things, like those are part of our lives. So if you're a traveler, good. Let's get some good habits on the road.
Yeah, love that. And is there anybody who can't do the God's Garden nutrition plan? What about if you're on medications or have some conditions? Are you able to stay on those medications as we go through?
Well, let's start with the God's Garden part first with that question. So everyone can do God's Garden. There are certain circumstances, if people are on certain medications that don't allow them to eat certain vegetables, they can reach out to me individually. But usually, Karen, people know what certain things they can avoid. But I would say 99.999% of the time, God's Garden is an acceptable diet for everyone. Because if you can't eat food, we got bigger issues. Yeah, because this is really what I'm talking about: eating real food that do not have chemicals, that do not have processing, you know, pesticides and herbicides. We're taking the chemicals out because we cannot get well if we do not clean the cell. And especially, you know, we had that incredible hormone talk last night with Dr. Rhonda, and it was incredible. If you guys haven't seen that, check that out from last night. And, you know, Rhonda's been a friend of mine for years, and we talk all the time that it's if the bad food, the GMO foods are constantly coming in the body, the amount of hormone disruption that's taking place, you can't even put words on it because you don't know the extent of it. So perfectly fine. Everyone can do a God's Garden, even if you're pregnant, which is awesome. You know, and that's something that someone could ask us a question, you know, during the program, because that's a question other people are going to have too. Like, should I be afraid? Is pregnancy a disease? And it's not. We should, you know, nurture the body maybe more than ever. And then you think you had another question there for me about medications.
Yeah, so just people, does it matter if people are on medications or they've got specific conditions? Can they still do the challenge?
So yeah, so you can stay on any of the medications that you're currently on. I'm certainly not going to act as your, you know, prescribing doctor during this program. So if you're on them now, you can eat food. So when you're on the 30-day challenge, all you can do is eat food that's built for your body. So you can stay on them. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What about, I mean, we're talking about food. What if I'm not a great cook? Will I still be able to eat properly? Is another question here.
Yes. Well, that, my friend, is part of your 30-day challenge. Yeah. So, hey, listen, I will tell you, you know, there are a couple funny things here. One, my tribe, you know, like my team, and by the way, my entire team is doing this, both at my clinic and at our cafe. So both teams are doing it, which is awesome. So so with that being said, I'm sorry, what was your question again? I just got myself lost.
If you like not a great cook.
Great cook. Yeah. So listen, we are going to provide recipes, and we are going to provide, certain meals. And I'm also going to provide, I'm literally going to open up my kitchen cabinets and show people what I use. Now, that being said, this is the part I was going to laugh at. My team, my crew laughs at me because I'm a simple guy. I don't like these complicated recipes. I'm going to give you Dr. Bart's famous meatball recipes, all this good stuff. So I'll show you ways. If you're not into cooking, there are ways that you can still feed yourself incredibly good. And that's going to be your 30-day challenge, to make sure for 30 days that you care more about what's going into your body than the effort that it takes to get in there.
Yeah. But we'll make it simple, right? We're all about making health simple. So we'll help you out. Okay, so through COVID, I'm no longer going to the gym. Can I still do this?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that was one of the motivating factors. I watched literally, hundreds, thousands of people, no longer going to the gym. And, and when most of us were really good at routine, and they got out of the routine. So that is, again, that's part of that. You don't have to have a gym. I don't go to the gym every day, but I got my poolside, and I'm going to show you guys what I do on a regular basis. And it'd be a little embarrassing, yes. And I want to take all of the difficulty and the concern that people have about being healthy is often a different approach and feeling good in our body than it has to be I need to go to the gym for an hour today. So there was a time in my life that was the case, but it's not anymore. So if you don't go to the gym, you don't need your gym membership, but definitely participate in gyms. You can continue to go, but the movements, the part of this that I'm requiring, they do not replace your workouts, and your workouts do not replace these movements. These movements can be done in your kitchen, for that matter.
Hey, awesome. Very cool. Okay, I got a question here. If fasting, can I have my bulletproof coffee in the AM?
Yes, you can. Yes. Yeah. So again, we're gonna do. There's all kinds of rules and regulations, if you want to call them, and just different opinions on fasting. Our number one goal is to use our fasting as a way to reduce inflammation. So the fasting schedule that I have, combined with the carbohydrate schedule that I have, it's rock solid. And are we going to be able to drink our bulletproof coffee? Yes.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Another one here was, Dr. Bart, what are easy signs to look for to notice dehydration, or how do I know if I need more water?
Well, one of the simplest ways is that if you ever are thirsty, you're dehydrated. Yeah, so that is my biggest clue. So listen, let's not ever leave it up for a guess. So it's real simple. One of the challenges, one of the ways you can get points during this is for every day you drink a gallon of water. If you're under 150 pounds, I say you can have 3/4 of a gallon. And I just kind of made that up. There's no specific reason why. But I would challenge everybody to go for a gallon of water a day, and just for 30 days. So you can kind of see how I'm stacking this, Karen. Imagine if you drank water for 30 days, drinking a gallon of water. And then imagine if you cut your carbohydrates. Imagine if you were fasting. The cleanliness that your body is going to go through in these 30 days will be like nothing else you could do. Now, I get that we know all these things, but if we put this together for 30 days and we're working on operating out of love, we're working on operating out of gratitude on a daily basis, 30 days, we're going to level up.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, what other questions do I have here? Okay, we kind of answered this one, but I have some co-workers who want to join. Can they still sign up?
Yes, absolutely. And that part I would 100%, if you can get other people that are around you that are in your tribe, they're going to be in your tribe on day 31. If you can get them involved, I promise you, they will thank you afterwards. So just, yeah, but the truth is, I think we got today's Wednesday, and Friday it closes.
Friday it closes, guys.
Yeah. And so Friday closes, and you might say, why are we doing that? One of the reasons we want people that are ready to take action. So, so jump. If you're a little bit hesitant or whatever, jump, just get in the game. You can't win if you're not in the game. And the experience itself, I promise you. So my prayer, my dream, my goal is that after 30 days, people have established habits and patterns that they maintain for the rest of their lives. I know some of the things that I'm introducing into this program are things that I use every day, and I could not imagine leaving them out of my life right now.
Yeah. Awesome. We just had a question here on Facebook. Can you say the saying you have for God's Garden? Matthew can't remember.
Yeah, I wish we could all go live together. We could sing it together, but it's real simple. So God's garden, if it comes from a root, a plant, a tree, if it walks in the garden or swims in the sea, then eat it. That's how simple it is. I'll say it again in case anyone didn't hear that. So we've overcomplicated nutrition, no doubt, and we're going to undercomplicate it when it comes to this 30-day challenge. So God's garden, the meal plan is really, if it comes from a root, a plant, a tree, walks in the garden, swims in the sea, eat it. Sometimes people will be like, I don't get it. If it swims in the sea, if it's a fish, eat it. Yeah. If it walks in the garden, what are they talking about? Well, if it's a chicken, if it's a cow, eat it. If it's a rabbit, eat it. That's what I mean. And there's going to be more guidelines. So listen, this is where we might have to get a little bit, I've got clients all over the country, and some are in areas where, they don't have a Whole Foods 10 minutes away. And we really have to start to strategize. Will we continue to use that as an excuse of always putting junk in our body? So we have to start to level up our own decision-making, process and saying, listen, all right, nowadays, especially, and I will probably give some people where I get my meat, I have them shipped, ordered from a, particular website out west. So there's a lot of opportunities now where you can get stuff sent to you where this never existed before. So as long as that's your goal, to eat as clean as you possibly can, there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. The next questions are there supplements you recommend throughout the program?
Absolutely. So I did not make them mandatory. Yet I'm going to kind of say I strongly suggest them, and I'll explain why. So I recommended 4 plus a protein, and I'll go through the 4 relatively quickly here. But if someone was to ask me as a clinician, you wanted to take a group of, 1,000 people and you wanted to make them just feel better in 30 days, this is the 4 I'd do. 1, I'd make sure everyone was using a digestive enzyme. Our digestive systems are not nearly as strong as they used to be. So upper GI digestion. So this is not a probiotic. This is a very specific supplement I use to help you digest your food better. That's the number 1 place we get blown up. We get the inflammation because we don't digest. So that's number 1. I use something called Zypan. Number 2, if you've watched our shows before, you've heard me talk about this for inflammation. A while back, we have Dr. Dave Hogsett on. He talked about a very specific turmeric blend that I use. It's called Turmeric Forte. And it is hands down the most absorbable, bioavailable source of turmeric. So inevitably, and I know a lot of our listeners are already using turmeric, I would say keep your turmeric, use this one as well, or hold yours onto the side for a moment, because what's very unique about this one is that its bioavailability is much higher and it will cross the blood-brain barrier. So it means we are down regulating inflammation. So I always put that one in there. One of my favorites for literally just changing our mood, I call it Disneyland in a bottle, and that is ashwagandha. So, I suggest that everyone, really, I think right now, if everyone was on ashwagandha, we just have a nicer society. Yeah. So I put that on there. And that's really good. So beyond that though, Karen, technically, without just talking about the hype of how it makes us feel emotionally, the ashwagandha helps us re-regulate the hypothalamus gland. And that hypothalamus gland is the beginning point for all hormones and also your adrenal glands. If you Googled it, you'd see how much of a great support it is for your thyroid and your adrenals, and both of which right now under prolonged stress, they get tanked. So ashwagandha is the 3rd one. And then probably the one I should have mentioned the first, because if you came into my office is what I put everyone on first, and it's old school cod liver oil. Yeah. So we need fatty acids. We need fatty acids. We need fatty acids. Even if you eat and drink fish all day, week long, I don't think you drink fish, but you know what I'm saying. Cod liver oil is still my favorite to help us downregulate inflammation. It supports brain health. Those DHA, that is what our brain is made of. And we need to be consuming that to get it into our body. So I got another dog with me here. And then, of course, the cod liver oil has vitamin D in it. Yeah, this is Paris. she just came on like a storm. All right. So there are those supplements, and of course, a good source of protein. So you don't have to do them. I didn't want to make them required in this, but I would say they're highly suggested. And I think if they do have it, I think you set it up where they could click on and they can probably get a discount if they want to do that.
Yeah, so if you go to drbartchallenge.com and you register, you then get our special link to get 20% off all these supplements. So yeah, drbartchallenge.com, and then yeah, you get 20% off for being in the challenge. If you've already signed up to the challenge, but you haven't got your supplements yet, I will send out an email tomorrow to give you another chance to get those, or you can reach out to us, reply to one of our emails that we've sent you about the challenge, and then we can get you set up with your supplements ready for Monday. Okay, cool. Let me just check the questions here.
Karen, while you're looking at that, I'll go back real quickly to the question about hydration, and just because being dehydrated is not okay.
Yeah.
It is, it's one of the fastest ways to get your body inflamed. So when I tell people, if you do a gallon a day for 30 days, you'll be blown away of what happens for your body, blown away, like the impact that'll have in terms of inflammation. So that's usually where I like to start. Instead of trying to look for the signs of dehydration, let's look for the opportunity to become super hydrated. And that is important as anything. Now, if someone says, I'm drinking a gallon of water and I'm still thirsty every day, that sometimes goes along with that question. I don't know if that was what the person asking this question was looking for, but nonetheless, that just means we need more minerals. And the simplest way is add a little bit of sea salt to your water, like Himalayan sea salt, and that will make that hydration feel better. You'll absorb that water better. You'll get it inside the cell better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good tip. We've got one here. Can you share any tips for taking vitamins and supplements if you loathe taking pills?
Yes. Okay. So you do have a couple options. So, I'm no stranger to supplements, and I've been using them with my clients for, the better part of a decade. So this does come up. So you have options. And first thing I would say is just commit to the fact that you're going to get them in there one way or another. Yeah. Make that commitment first. And then then it's easy to find a way around. So the first thing I would say is that you could just put them in your blender. Any of the supplements that I recommend for you are going to be whole food. So they will blend away, shell and all, just toss them in there. Perfectly fine. No big deal.
Okay.
So that's one of the easiest ways. If you have capsules, dump the capsules out in water and stir them up and slug them down. Yeah. Because we're working with whole food supplements, you'll never have an issue with digestion. You'll never have any issues. So for example, the cod liver oil, they come in these pearls. Often I have them around here. They come in these pearls, and I don't even swallow those myself. I just bite them. I pop them and I toss out the capsule. So, and then there's a lot of, I know it sounds weird, but there's some other ones that, these whole food supplements, you can actually chew them. I'm not saying they taste great, but their impact can just work a little faster. So that's one of the simplest ways. If you load that becomes part of your 30-day challenge. Yes. And again, and the beauty is, think of your supplement as a way for you to speed up getting closer to your superhuman status. So for example, let's say you're here, you have a lot of great habits, and becoming superhuman is going to be way over here. Our supplements allow us to cut the line.
Yeah.
That's really what they do. So you can just go with a perfect diet. As long as everything's working right, it might literally just take you years to heal or overcome a deficiency that you could probably do in 30 days. So that is the power of supplementation when used properly.
Yeah, awesome. And I like that first bit. Commit to the fact that you're going to get them in.
Commit to that. Yeah. 100%.
I like that. Okay. Well, I think that's most of the questions. Thanks so much, guys, for all your awesome questions. Last one is, it was when do we start? But we said that it's Monday, but registration closes Friday, guys. And then why is this important now?
Yeah, like probably like the beginning of how we started this off, this is probably as important as anything that we just mentioned. And why is it important now? Because what's going on currently really there's no end in sight. And I say that as a healthcare practitioner, as a husband, as a neighbor, that at some point we just have to draw the line in the sand and choose. These are our lives. We got to choose to level them up. We got to choose to want to do this and no longer wait for someone else to kind of give us this permission. And what I'm absolutely certain of, Karen, is that deep down, every one of us, that's all we want. We just want to kind of keep moving forward and leveling up. It doesn't mean we have to ignore anything. This just means that during this 30 days, all of us are going to be part of this tribe, are choosing to put our foot down, draw a line in the sand and say, this is my time. I'm leveling it up right here, right now. And if not now, in this group, then when, and with who is really the question. And I think, so if you're even listening to it, this is the time for you.
Yeah. And I also love how you always talk about, no matter what's going on out there, we can control how strong we get or how we look after ourselves and our bodies. And that's the bit that we can do something about when everything's crazy out in the world or things are coming at us or whatever. The thing we can control is how superhuman we make our own body, right?
Yeah.
A couple of people commented on swallowing pills. It's overcomable. I did it on one of Dr. Bart's programs. So that's amazing, Noel. That's great.
Yes. In my cleanse program, by the way, for those people who've done the cleanse, that's a lot of pills. Yes. Yeah. This is nothing. That's a lot of pills. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, cool. I think that's all our questions. So thanks so much for jumping on and going through that. If anybody else has any other questions, feel free to message us underneath this post on Facebook or send us an email. But otherwise, we hope to see you in the challenge. We're excited for it.
Yeah, and again, I appreciate everyone that's already jumped in. Good for you for committing, get yourself ready for Monday night. Make sure you're attending live, or I'm going to go live, kind of give the layout and really kind of get us moving in the right direction. So as usual, folks, every day, let's make sure we're taking deliberate action, right? For the mind, for the body, for your overall wellness. And y'all be awesome.
See you later, guys.